In a small town nestled between rolling hills was Pine Hill Academy, a place where children of all colors came together. Among them was 8-year-old Jamal, a cheerful boy with a kind heart. His deep brown eyes were full of curiosity, and he loved making friends. One sunny morning, Jamal packed his lunch with his mom, who always added a little extra, an extra sandwich, some fruit, and his favorite treat, chocolate chip cookies. "You never know who might need a little kindness," she'd say. Jamal arrived at school and found his seat in Mrs. Hartley's third-grade classroom. The class was filled with the usual morning chatter. Jamal noticed a new face, a boy named Ben, who had recently moved to town. Ben was sitting alone, looking a bit lost. As lunchtime approached, Mrs. Hartley called for the students to grab their lunchboxes and head outside. Jamal found a spot under a shady tree, but then noticed Ben sitting alone on a nearby bench. It was clear Ben had forgotten his lunch. Jamal hesitated for a moment, remembering his mom's words. With a bit of nervousness, he stood up and walked over to Ben. "Hey," Jamal said, smiling. "Do you want to share my lunch? I have plenty." Ben looked up, surprised and relieved. "Thanks. I forgot my lunch at home, and I didn't want to ask anyone," Ben admitted shyly. Jamal sat next to Ben, opening his lunchbox and handing Ben a sandwich and some grapes, saving the cookies for last. As they ate together, the boys talked about their favorite cartoons and games. By the time lunch was over, it felt like they had been friends forever. The next day, Jamal went to school, thinking nothing of his small act of kindness. But during lunch, Mrs. Hartley called Jamal over to her desk with a warm smile. "Jamal, there's someone here who wants to meet you," she said. Jamal followed Mrs. Hartley to the door, where Ben stood with his father, Dr. Thompson. Dr. Thompson, a tall man with kind eyes, had heard all about Jamal's act of kindness and wanted to thank him personally. As Jamal approached, Dr. Thompson knelt down to Jamal's level, smiling kindly. "Hello, Jamal," he said warmly. "I'm Ben's dad, and I'm a doctor. I just wanted to say thank you for sharing your lunch with Ben. It meant a lot to him and to me. It's not every day you see such kindness." Jamal shuffled his feet, a little embarrassed but happy. "It was no big deal. I had extra," Jamal replied, glancing at Ben, who was smiling brightly beside his dad. Dr. Thompson reached into his pocket and pulled out a small packet of colorful sweets. "I wanted to give you this as a token of our gratitude. You showed great kindness, and it reminded me that a little generosity can go a long way." Jamal took the sweets, his eyes lighting up. The sweets were nice, but what mattered more was being appreciated for something so simple. The rest of the day, Jamal and Ben played together, laughing and sharing stories. Their friendship grew stronger, and soon, they were inseparable. They even started a tradition. Once a week, they would bring something special from their lunches to share, whether it was a treat, a piece of fruit, or a new joke. As weeks passed, their friendship became a symbol of unity in the class. Jamal and Ben's story spread, and soon other kids began sharing too, not just food, but toys, stories, and kindness. It didn't matter where you were from or what you looked like. What mattered was how you treated each other. The schoolyard became a place where differences brought everyone closer. Mrs. Hartley often watched her students with a smile, proud of the community they had built, all starting from one small act of kindness. Jamal's simple gesture of sharing his lunch with Ben became a powerful lesson. Even at 8 years old, you could make a difference with just a little bit of heart. Jamal learned that his mom was right. You never know who might need a little kindness. Sometimes, it's the smallest things, a shared lunch, a warm smile, or a few kind words that have the greatest impact. And sometimes, those small things are all it takes to build bridges, form friendships, and remind us that we are better together.